So I am not pro-Palestine, but I do have an argument that somebody made to me that is pretty pro-Palestine, and I thought you might find it interesting.
Okay.
So it says that, let me turn off the YouTube so I don't hear myself twice. Okay, so she says that Israel knew of the attack for at least a year before it happened. And then even though they have such a great military, they let 3 hours go by before they responded to the attack. It says this was their plan all along to continue what they started with the Nakba and Nasba.
Yeah, so I haven't seen any evidence that Israel might have had intelligence of a attack planned ahead of time. I don't know what that intelligence was exactly. It might have, I don't know if they had a particular date, but usually when it comes to intelligence like that, they'll have some kind of some kind of warning that okay, Hamas is planning like a big attack sometime this year, something like that. I can imagine they'd know about that, but the reason why the response was so delayed was because there was a lot of the IDF were in the West Bank, I believe, and that's one of the reasons why the response was so delayed. But I think like 30 minutes after the attack, Apache pilots flew over to engage. They weren't able to engage with Hamas near some of the little towns around the like that were near the border wall, and I don't think they were able to engage with anybody at the music festival either because they were worried about killing too many civilians. They weren't really able to tell who's Hamas member, who's a civilian, so they ended up just engaging with anybody that was either breaking through the border wall to go in or to go back. But
Yeah,
yeah, the like again, if they're going to claim Israel knew about this and they deliberately delayed the response, where's the evidence? You would imagine there would be some sort of communication with higher up military officials that got leaked, where they said, "Okay, we know this attack is going to happen. Let's delay it to, get X Y outcome." Uh, you'd have some sort of communication during the attack saying, oh, this attack is happening, don't go just yet, or you'll have some sort of communication saying, oh no, we're being attacked. The military official receives the message and then for no reason waits like 30 minutes to tell any IDF forces. You'd have some sort of information like that, but nothing like that got leaked. It's just a conspiracy theory. It's basically like 9/11. 9/11 truthers say that same story, that the U.S. knew about this upcoming attack, and they did. They did know that there was an attack planned on the U.S., but they didn't know who was going to do it, when, and there was a lack of communication between the CIA and FBI, and it kind of hampered the investigation. That's kind of how the 9/11 attack ended up happening. But this idea that Israel intentionally allowed it to happen, that's just total bullshit.
yeah, because it sounds like, I mean, it implies that if they knew a year beforehand that it was going to happen, it just sounds like it was all fabricated, that Israel fabricated Hamas, fabricated the attack as a pretext to actually invade, conquer, and take over that land. So it all sounds crazy. I 100% not agree, but I get where you're coming from.
I don't even understand why they would need that specific attack for a reason to invade. Like, there's rockets that get shot into Israel every fucking month, like thousands sometimes by Hamas. Like it would be that would probably be enough reason to, have another invasion. And I mean, there's different ways that you could maybe make the attack worse. Like they could have intentionally disabled like the Iron Dome system. Like that would kind of make more sense than allowing for Hamas to plan this crazy attack that kills 1,200 of your own civilians. And if any of this word gets out, which would be very easy because I'd imagine like at least dozens of people would have to have been a part of this plan, then cat's out of the bag. People would probably end up getting arrested and charged. Like it just doesn't make any sense.
No, it doesn't. And the person who actually told me about this claim is a really high IQ person. So even smart people are getting misinformed and told that, hey, like Israel's this evil, government that's really trying to conquer these poor people. Another claim that she made was that the reason for war retaliation on Israel's part is now moot. They have displaced millions of Palestinians and massacred over 35,000 people, which is just the number of people who have been identified as killed by artillery, not those by famine, disease, exposure, etc., of which close to is 17,000 is children and have committed war crime after war crime. Of course, they should have retaliated for October 7th, but by continuing their offensive, they are now truly committing a genocide and any debate is only made to support that effort.
Yeah, so starvation deaths are. You can look at the total amount of starvation deaths since October 7th. I think it's either 28 or 32, something around there. It's very few. Pre October 7th, the only people who would die of starvation are literally just anorexics. So, like, that wouldn't even be Israel's fault. Like, they just have an eating disorder. You can look at the average amount of food that comes into Gaza. It equates to 3,000 calories per person. So nobody in Gaza is at risk of starvation pre-October 7th. So that's just horseshit. As far as displacing several million people, I'm assuming they're talking about the Israeli War of Independence. No shit. If you start a war with a nation for no other reason than you hate Jews, yeah, you're going to get displaced. It's a massive security risk to have a population of people who are at war with you live with you. So yeah, people were displaced for that reason. What also isn't mentioned is Palestinian Arabs ended up displacing themselves. They're actually spreading around a bunch of lies and misinformation that the IDF is going from village to village, executing civilians and raping women. And they're spreading this lie around to try to get support from other Arab nations like Jordan to go to war with Israel. And that ended up backfiring. They never did that. And Palestinian Arabs freaked out and they fled because they thought Jews were just going to fucking kill them, which, again, never happened. They were just engaging with enemies.
Wow, yeah. Holy shit. Well, it seems that I have been not misinformed because I honestly I'm more like I don't believe anything anybody says. So if you tell me one side or the other, I don't really care because I don't have enough information until I do. I don't come up with a conclusion and start debating people randomly, thinking that I know better than you. So I just came in to throw those points at you, see what you had to share. I really appreciate it.
All right, no problem, dude. Hope that helps. Take care.
Thank you. Bye.